Hello, welcome to the circuit. My name's Mark and you're watching Scalextric Racer. So today we're going to be making a change to my circuit. So ever since I've been using Scalextric, I've been using the C7042 Advanced Power Base that comes with this tower to display all your lap times and your final positions in each of your races. For a long time I've wanted to change that and actually get the information up on a computer screen, which I intend to put on this wall behind me. So with that in mind, I've gone out and bought myself a cable that will connect the power base to my laptop, and I'm going to download a piece of software called the Scalextric Sports Digital Console that will allow me to control my races much better and, as I say, put the display up on the wall. So today I thought I'd shoot a video showing exactly me doing that job. So it's quite exciting. Shall we get on and do it? Okay, so first of all let me explain the setup here. So I've got my power base here with the information tower that displays the times. I've got the cable which I've bought from eBay. This has cost me, I believe it's currently £34. I thought I paid 30 for it, but when I looked the other day it was 34. So that's the cable I bought. Now my laptop's just out of shot, but what I've actually got is some screen capture software. So I'm going to fire that up, and then when we need to see the laptop screen I can put the information up for you. So this is a cable I bought from eBay. It's a 5 meter USB cable for Scalextric C7042 Advanced Power Base. This cable, so it's 5 meters long, it has two ends. That end is a RJ11 which will go into the side of the Advanced Power Base, and this is a USB cable which will go into the side of the laptop. So the instructions say that we must plug this RJ11 connector into the power base. So I'm disconnecting my tower there, plugging that in. Now it's very specific in saying that the power base is not hot pluggable, so you should never have this turned on or any power at all going to it when you either plug the cable in or take the cable out. So always remember to switch this off before you make any connections. So this then we're going to put into the side of the laptop. Now it says give it 20 seconds and it will recognise this as a serial port. I believe it's going to come on COM3, communications port 3. So on my laptop I'm just going to fire up the device manager, and then we should be able to see it install. So at the moment that's device manager, and I can't see any communications ports in there. So I'm going to plug this lead in to the USB socket. It's flashed once, and the device manager there, you've seen that flash, and it has created this COM port section, and you can see that I've got a USB serial port on COM3. So that really is all there is to install on the cable. The cable is now live. So that is now getting the laptop to talk to this device once I power it on. What you need next is some race management software. So I've chosen the Scalextric Sports Digital Console, and I'm going to download that for you. So this is a website. I'll put this link in the description underneath the video. This is an old product and it has been recommended to me. However, I will point out that the certificate has expired, so I'm trusting this because it's been recommended to me. But you guys out there who may not know a lot about IT, never visit insecure sites because it's quite dangerous for downloading viruses and things. I would imagine this, because it's an old product, the person that owns the site has let it lapse, but it's not great. However, I'm going to press ahead. So here are the downloads. So what we need is the latest version of the software, which is version 4.9.0. If you read through here, it tells you the what bugs have been fixed and what new features have been introduced in each release. So I'm going to take this one, and that's going to go to my download directory. So we also need at some stage to update this tower. So the firmware loaded in the device from Scalextric is version 0.85, and that's the last officially supported version by Scalextric, but there are some issues even in that final version, and this firmware will address some of those. So I'm going to take some more downloads. So this is the firmware update tool, and the latest firmware that you want to use is this version 1.09. So I've downloaded that as well. So that's the Scalextric version. So I say, bear in mind that that is the only version that Scalextric will support. So I don't know if these things are still in warranty, but if you went back to them and you had a different version of firmware, they may not wish to help you. So in the previous segment we installed the USB lead, so I've got it connected into the power base, but the power base is not switched on, and the other end is plugged into the USB socket on my laptop. So what I'm going to do now is install this Scalextric Sports Digital Console software. So you see me download it. What I've done previously was moved it to a better directory than my downloads directory, so I've got it on my C drive now, and I've actually extracted the zip files. So if you get a zip file, you right hand click on it and do extract all, and it'll just uncrunch it. A zip file is a compressed version of the software, so it takes up less room on your disk, but you need to uncompress it before you can use it. Okay, so I've done that, and the main software I've got installed in this directory called SSDC version 5.900. I might have said version 4 earlier. You want version 5 for this particular power base. So I'm going into there, going into the install folder, and you can see that there is a setup.exe. So I'm going to click on that now. And it's given me another warning about the publisher not being verified. This one is mentioned in the documentation, so I'm not so worried about this, but I'm going to click on install, and you can see there it's starting to install onto my laptop. There we are, the line's getting to the end, and that's now installed. So this product, you can evaluate it for 30 days for free. After that you need to buy a license. So I have actually been using this for a few days, so mine says 21 days, but never mind. Okay, while I'm here, what I will also do is install the firmware update tool, because that will be useful to us a little bit later. So again, it's a simple setup.exe. Another warning about the publisher, but I've been tipped off to expect this, so I'm happy because it's in the documentation, and I'm going to click on install, and that's installed now. So I've now got two pieces of software. I'm not going to actually do that at the moment. So I've got two pieces of software. I've got the firmware update tool, and I've got the Sports Digital Console installed. So really that's all that we need to do. What we need to do next is start to use the Sports Digital Console software. Right, for this last section, we're actually going to use the Scalextric Sports Digital Console software. So the way we make it happen is the cable is plugged into the power base, the power base is switched off, and the USB port is in the laptop. So the first thing we're going to do is bring my power base to life by plugging in the power. And then I'm going to start the Scalextric Sports Digital software. So until I've licensed, I will always get this evaluation key. So I've got 21 days left, and I'm going to evaluate.
Hello and welcome to today's racing.
Hello to you as well. The minute it starts communicating with the power base, the little USB key starts flashing. I whether you can actually pick that up. See it flashing just there. There. So that means that we've got a good connection, and it's all talking to one another. I'm just going to put the other power lead in as well, actually. So straight out the box, you can race with it. So I've got an empty leaderboard at the moment, but if I put a car on the track, there's one here. And pull the trigger, so we're off racing. So this is straight out of the box, no setup, and the car is going round. Lots of system noises. So this mode is called free practice mode. There's lots of options along the top here. So you see, when we was installing it, I mentioned that the cable got installed on serial port 3. So there you are, comms port 3. So you have to tell it where your power base port is. There was an upgraded pit lane game for this set, which I don't believe is available anymore, but if you had that, you configure it here. This setup will simulate fuel running out, and it will make the cars go slower if the fuel runs out, and it will also make the cars run a bit slower if you've got a full tank of fuel. So I've deliberately turned these off at the moment, but you've got options there. So if you click on it, you can see how that's now selected. It's slightly darker, and the same there. So those two are now selected, but I'm going to leave them off. So there's loads in this software, loads that I haven't actually explored yet, but you can see that straight out of the box we've got a working system. You can see my lap times, you can tell me information, you can see information along the bottom there. So that's it, that's a basic setup. However, you will actually want to manage your races a bit better than that. So what happens is they give you a database that you can configure. on the website there's absolutely loads of tutorial videos that are linked from the website of Scalextric Sports Digital, so you can go straight there, and their videos are absolutely much better than mine. However, I'll show you what I've learnt so far. So the first thing that you have to do is create a new database. So I'm going to put it, I've got a folder on here called Scalextric. Scalextric Base, so that's me, and I'm just going to create a database called test series. So the first, that's the name of the database, and that's there. So the first thing that you create is a series. So the series might be like a season in Formula 1 or season in British Touring Car Championship. So you create a new series and give it a name, and we're going to call it Season 1. Within that season you select that, and then you do a new event. So events are like the Australian Grand Prix or the Austrian Grand Prix or the Japanese Grand Prix. So within a series you'll have a number of events. So I'm going to rename this one and call it GP event, GP weekend. Okay. Coming over to this side, we need to set up drivers and cars and tracks. So first of all, let's do a track. So the track, we're going to call it here, my garage track. Track might be, I don't know, Monza, Silverstone, wherever. You can give some information about the track that you set up: minimum lap time, maximum pit time, pit entrance. I'm not going to do any of that at the moment because this is far too complicated for me at this stage. I've only been using the software for a few days, unfortunately. But anyway, you need to set up a track. You then need to set up a car. So let's add a new car, and I'm going to add in an Aston Martin. There we go. Description, very fast. If we were using the fuel options, we can choose how quickly it burns up its fuel. I'm not going to do that. I can change the colour of it. So let's go for this grey colour because my Aston Martin is grey. If I had a picture of the car, I could upload it there, but I haven't got a picture of this Aston Martin, so I'm not going to do that. However, we need to set up drivers. So I'm going to do a new driver, and I'm going to go blue because that's my colour at the moment, and I'm called Mark. Pronounced as Mark. And again, I've got some options that I can set up for the driver, which I'm not going to do. The interesting one at the bottom is a pace driver. So again, lots of information on Scalextric Sports Digital Console's website about pace cars. However, I now have a track, a car and a driver. Didn't get all of that, did I? So let's type in Aston. There you go. So in this Grand Prix weekend, I can now add a race, and let's do a Grand Prix. The duration, I'm going to do 5 laps. 5 laps. For ID number 1, I'm going to add in my Aston Martin as the car. The driver I'm going to add in as Mark. And we've now got a 5-lap Grand Prix set up. So can you see we've created a season, we've created an event, and within that event we've got some races. I've only got one car running at the moment, and that's me, and I'm going on track ID number 1. So if I put my car on the track and click on the start button, go. I'm not going to push the car too fast because I don't want to come off the track. I just want you to see how the software works.
You're leading the race, you're leading the race.
Oops, I've come up. And that's a track call. And that's the end of the race. So that tells me how many laps we did, and my fastest time and my last lap time. So that was all about Scalextric Sports Digital Console software. I do hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry if it's been a little bit painful at times, but I've been learning as I went along, no sort of pre-rehearsal. I've done it in real time, and you've been sharing that experience with me. I've got to say really that it was fairly easy to set up. The cable was really easy to go in, the computer found it straight away just as it said it would in the instructions, and the software installed itself very easily. What I haven't included in this because of time is I did actually update the firmware on my Advanced Power Base, so I'm now at version 1.9. I have filmed that, and if I get a chance I'll maybe post it in another video, but the firmware update was well worth doing. I've had a few problems with timings on some of my cars, and they were fixed immediately when I went to the new version of the firmware. So at the moment I'm recommending this software. It's quite an old product, as I say. You do have to buy a license. It looks like it retails for about £30. I haven't licensed mine just yet, but I will be doing soon. But for me it's a recommended product. So now I hope you're enjoying the channel. If you are, do please share it with your friends. Click the subscribe button and click the like button, and also leave me some comments, because I'd really like to see what people are thinking about the content that I'm putting out there. So that's all for this week. I do hope you've enjoyed it, and until we meet again, I'll see you around the circuit.